progress, not perfection.
I feel afraid. I feel terrified. I'm still gonna do it. Move forward even when you're afraid.
We're not in control of how many auditions we get. We're not in control of other systemic issues that come into play. But what we do have control over is our part of the work, right? Coming prepared.
Anything that's not literally going to kill you, you can try it and you can keep trying it if you love it.
Screenwriting is very much a science, and it takes time, and you got to be easy and gentle with yourself, because that might take a little longer depending on where you are with your writing skills.
I think the most rewarding part is looking back on the journey and how much fun I had, honestly.
I did my War Woman show because, you know, Lydia, creative people have to create. If we don't stay in a state of creativity, whether it's writing a poem or whatever, it turns on us. The gift turns on us.
No artist likes what they first make because it has come as a stranger. You have never seen it before. So it's new to you. And you have to get to know it.
So I was like, you know what? All this time I've been coming up with the ideas myself for the films I want to sell. Why don't I just ask the youth pastors what they want in a film? So I took that and I literally called, surveyed, met with so many youth pastors, and I asked them the same question. When you're ordering a film to show your youth group, what do you want to see in that film? And they gave me this list. So I took that list and I made my third film, and that movie is the one that got picked up.
Acting is a craft. In some circles, I think sometimes there's this idea that anybody can do it and it doesn't take anything to be an actor. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you are an actor and you know the commitment that it takes and how the bravery that it takes to choose this career.
Mama's got to go work. Mama's got to do whatever it is that is in her heart, whether it's getting on stage for the very first time or starting a new business or whatever you think is the thing that might be too scary.
When I first came out here, yes, I wanted to do, you know, longer form and narrative, but I also was like, how am I going to make a living doing what I love? And so for me, commercials was a great opportunity to still practice the art of directing constantly, to still have something to show.
I remember he told me to write 10 jokes a day. And when I do open mics, to start with the jokes you know that word, put the new ones in the middle, and then end with the joke that you know that
Kills.
word.
Yes.
If I'm writing something, I say, oh, I hope they like this. Hope they like. That's energy. That's taken away from what I'm writing. That's taken away from what I can write and then give it. And whoever receives it, whoever needs it, whoever is transformed by it or from it, then I've done my job.
I remember walking in a room one time because I was hired by this business magazine to go to a men's club to photograph a business meeting. And the men actually, and I was wearing a suit. And the men actually yelled at me, "You can't be here, you're a woman." And I yelled back, "I'm not, I'm the photographer."
The creative groups we get into are not by accident. We get into groups because of our mindset. You know, if we're somewhere and it stinks and we don't smell it, that says a lot about us.
I love social media. Obviously, I use it to run my business, but we don't own social media. They can decide tomorrow they don't want faith-based content, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's their company. But our email lists, we own. That is our database. Nobody gets to have access to it except for us.
You're responsible for taking care of work, right? You have to do your homework. You can't just show up and expect que te caiga del cielo somehow. You have to know how to study, how to break down a script, how to get into a character, and take responsibility for your part of the process.
I must have been born with some of this ability to look at things and go, how does this work? Oh, I see how it works. How could it be better?
There are certain sounds that you hear in movies that are really crisp
Sound design
and amazing. Yeah, and you're like, what is all of this? And sometimes it's Foley, it's sound design, it's someone going in and crafting and molding the sound to just elevate the piece.
I was grateful that I was in a position to create. And I was in a position to create and express myself and give my gift and to be a part of something huge.
There are so many joys in being an artist. You know, there are these like, oh my God, moments that are awesome. I think the hard part is the doubt, you know, the lack of just doubt, or when the world turns against you.
You want to have people around you that encourage you, build you up, that can give you critiques, but not criticism.
I own my content, period. No longer will I put myself in a position where I'm asking permission from somebody to create. That's not going to happen. And I just praise God that we live in a time where social media and websites and apps exist, where I can actually say that. I don't need your permission.
With the intention that you come with, that's the most important thing. And it bleeds into the rest of your life.
The script is a great template, but it's not everything. You got to know what you're seeing in front of you. And if it's not working on the day, you have to sort out, okay, what do I do? And I think for directors, it's great to take acting classes if you can, or speak to a lot of actors about, this is the type of language, you know, I would like.
There is a lot of rejection. There is a lot of competition. We have to love ourselves and love who we are. We have to take it. We have to find our spiritual foundation, whatever that is. God, source, Buddha, whatever it is, Jesus, whatever it is.
Do not negotiate your own contracts. We are artists. We are not lawyers. We don't know the legalese that's going to get us trapped. I didn't know. So I negotiated my own contract, and it was the worst decision I could have made. So always hire a lawyer. Just spend the money. I know it's going to be $600. Spend the money. It's always worth it.
Everything in the film really has to count. It shouldn't just be in there just for frills and thrills or just because it's a pretty shot. Like, I think every frame needs to be saying something to the viewer, like, this is what I want you to feel, or this is how this character is emoting. And so I really learned that.
LA's spread out, so is your work. You know what I mean? At least for some people. Some people work all the time.
Right.
I wasn't one of them. Between those times when I wasn't working, I said, okay, well, let me create my own and maybe somebody come and see me.